Keep on rocking in the free world.
Keep on rocking in the free world.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So for the foreseeable future, at least for a little while, I'm just going to be doing basic videos with my phone because my laptop, after many years of fantastic service, decided to have a hissy fit on me yesterday. It won't boot up. It just likes to turn on. The fan likes to come on. The lights like to flash for a second, and then it likes to shut down on me. I've opened it up. I've cleaned it. I've hard reset it. I've done all the stuff you're supposed to do, and it's dead in the water at the moment. So until I get that fixed, there will be no fancy videos. It'll all be off my phone. But that is not going to stop me from answering your questions, which have been piling in about the wood stove behind me here. So I'm going to go through them one by one right now, unedited, raw, right off my phone. So deal with it, guys. First off, this is from Dreamweaver. I'm just going by YouTube names because I just screenshotted your comments, basically, and I chose some of the good ones here to answer. So from Dreamweaver, he says, what do you do if you have to drive and you have a fire going? Does smoke come in as a backdraft, or is driving with a fire going a no-no? Okay, honestly, I'm not going to recommend you should drive around with your fire going. I used to do that with the Kimberly stove. It is sealed and it was taking in air from outside, so it was a little safer in that regards. I've done it with this stove too, but you want to make sure your windows are shut and your roof vent, everything's shut, so you don't have any backdraft in any way for it to suck the smoke, or you're going to fill up your van with smoke real quick. But that being said, yes, I've done it. Just be mindful of those. It's just like what I said in the video about the stove. Don't have your fantastic fan on. At least don't have it sucking out of your van while the fireplace is running, or you're gonna have to air out your van for a little while. Okay. Next, Devaster Oner says, Mr. Credible, how fast will it turn off when you need to get up and go? Let's say it's been burning for a few hours. I get an emergency call. I need to leave. How does it, or how do you shut it off? Is it quick and safe after use? Well, I don't think there's a lot of questions here that have nothing to do specifically with the Cubic mini wood stove, but just with any wood stove in general. You don't just push a button and turn it off. You can shut off the airflow to it, but that would be pushing that in and pushing that in. It shuts it off, basically, those two there. But if you do that, it's not going to be out immediately. It takes a little bit for it to go out. So I guess the question is, how many cups of water do you need to throw on it to drive away real quickly? Probably just one for a stove this size. Easy Rider One says, "Hi, came across the video about your fireplace. I guess you mean. You said it cost around $1,000. I thought it to be expensive. Well, no, I said the entire package. That's the stove, the flue pipe, the optional wall mount, and the slide out tray underneath. All of that will cost somewhere around there, which is actually very reasonable. The Kimberly stove before was around $5,000, and there's a lot of residential wood stoves that are well over $10,000. So again, if you put it in perspective, it's not that expensive at all. A standard RV furnace, which sucks your propane and kills your battery in one night, they're $700 or $800 off the shelf. So put it in perspective, man. It's not that bad. If you're going to budget for a camper van, make sure you have a few $1,000s left over for toys like this and solar panels and all that. But that being said, your question is, how long would you estimate $1,000 worth of propane would last you to run at the same rate you use the fire? Bear in mind, no mess, no collecting and storage of logs, the cleaning, the harm to the environment, and the fact propane would be instant and cleaner. This is not a put down or argument. It's a real question of economics. Regards, Mike. Mike, well, again, you're not talking about the cost of the propane stove that I had before. The propane fireplace was also almost $1,000. Or if you buy a standard RV furnace, $700 or $800 at least. So you have to take into account the purchase price of the device. Now, if I bought the propane one again, I'd have to buy the stove, which was almost $1,000. Then I have to feed it propane and keep buying propane. Now, I just found Presto Logs at Rona. All the Rona stores in Canada have a 10-pack for $5. So it's like 50 cents a log. And they burn for hours. They're clean. You just break them off with your hands, and they'll fit in the stove. Or you can go outside and find wood. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing to burn wood as far as your environmental argument goes. I think it's the most. Again, I'm not a guy that believes in the whole carbon footprint jazz, but even if you do, it's the most carbon neutral activity. The most natural thing you can do is burn wood. So I don't buy that argument. As far as a mess and cleaning up, it's all part of the joy of owning a wood stove. Again, I don't find any of that to be a negative. I think it feels great to cut my wood and start my own fire, and I love the smell of it. So it's not that bad at all. Okay, next. Coco Mo. Coco Mo says, "Hi Justin, love the stove. We're getting the Grizzly, but need the 3-inch double wall pipe and fittings. Do you have a line on where to get those things? Maybe a brand name of the stove pipe. I don't have the brand name. Cubic sent me the pipe. It is a double wall. You definitely want a double wall, or you can run into issues. Never use a single wall pipe for stoves. Next." Ernest Vinning says, "I have an 85 GMC G2500 Coachman camper van, and this small stove would be awesome. However, with the top being fiberglass, is there heat concerns for the top?" Well, they're meant for installation in boats. I mean, boats are mostly fiberglass, so you obviously don't want to go any. This is just one of the sections of pipe they sent. I got two, but I didn't need to. I wouldn't go any smaller than that. I know they have a recommended height. It's all the info's on their website, so check it out, cubicminiwoodstoves.com. Sandra Birdie says, "I saw a different video where someone said that the Cubic wasn't airtight, thus it was not possible to control the airflow rate of burn, so it burned down faster than if you could control the airflow. It looks like your stove has the fiberglass rope to seal the door, though. What about the vent? Just curious about your comments on this." Yes, you see those little knobs right there. Those, I showed on the video, you can control the airflow with that, and with that, it works fine. It's not going to be airtight if you leave them open. So I don't know what that's all about. You know what? I have bought a lot of products over the years, and the last thing you want to do, and I've worked in retail sales too for many years. I don't at the moment, but I have for many years. And when you're going to buy a product, the last thing you should do is go online and look for reviews from average Joes and base an opinion and form your perception off that. Because almost always you're going to find negative Nancy's who don't know how to operate a product properly, and then they complain about it online. Well, everyone that's happy generally doesn't go online and talk about it. That's what I've learned working in retail. The customer, yes, the customer is always right, they say, but in reality, we have to bite our tongues and educate the customer on how to use a product properly, because it's usually the user's fault if they have a problem with a product. I noticed some negative reviews about the Kimberly stove years ago. It didn't stop me from buying one because I know it's probably not an issue with the product. It's probably an issue with the user, and that's actually what it was. The Kimberly is an awesome, awesome stove as well. I have no problems with this stove either. So, I used to sell cell phones for a living. People would come back and complain about the phone, and it was always because they just didn't know how to use it properly. So, keep that in mind. Don't look for user reviews. Look for actual reviews from, like, if you're going to buy a car, look for a respected review site like a magazine that does reviews on them, not the average person. That's just my opinion on that anyways. Next, Gareth Hall says, "Thanks for setting straight about the difficulty comparing the Cubic Mini and Kimberly wood stoves, but despite the difficulty, you pulled off a very fair and honest comparison. I appreciate you sharing where you got some of your wood, gives viewers ideas, and showing your wood box. All in all, you've got it going on. Looking forward to the final installation location. Quick question, did you ever consider the Dickinson Marine solid fuel stove?" Yes, I did consider that. It's like the propane Dickinson fireplace, except it's to burn regular wood. It's not meant for full-time use. They even say that right on their website. And it's a wide open firebox viewing window in the front. There's no glass. So it's, to me, it's just not as substantial. I mean, for the price, go with the Cubic. That's my opinion. All right, guys, keep on rocking in the free world until I have a new laptop. I guess I'll see you again from my phone sometime. Cheers.